Welcome to Clicked Up TV, where you give you the science, news, and technology. So I just want to bring a brief history of events that has been going on with our supply chain, our food supply here in the United States of America. I'm not sure how the supply chains is going across the world, but here in America, you better prepare. Stop eating all that junk. Stop eating all that fast food. It's time that we eat right and limit ourselves on what we eat. You never know. Could be a nationwide shortage by the end of the year, especially with holidays such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's approaching. There could be a major shortage of food, the food you like to eat. So we have to stick with our main necessity. We have to throw away our wants, and we have to pay attention to our needs. There's a lot of people out there that don't have a place to live, don't have clothes, clean clothes on their back, and they don't have food. And when you're going through all that on an empty stomach, that can equal disaster. A mental disaster, and it could also be a physical disaster if that in fact that hungry to the point where they have to commit a crime or break into a store and steal what they need to support their family. So I just want to bring these events to light. You know, a lot of people don't read the news, read the newspaper, or see what's going around the world, let alone the United States. So I just want to read some things that I have learned along the way and on my journey to bring information that you can learn from and you can grow from. So just want to let you know there has been food shortages magnified by a string of destroyed food processing facilities. That's right. Someone has been deliberately going around the United States destroying food processing facilities. And I'm going to get into these stories. So we can learn and we can do what's necessary to prepare. Now, food shortages have been exacerbated by a string of fires, plane crashes, and explosions at nearly 24 food processing facilities across the U.S. as well as Canada. The most recent happened on Thursday in Georgia when a small plane crashed shortly after takeoff in a General Mills plant just east of Atlanta. 2 occupants of the plane were killed in the crash, as reported by the New York Post. Now, quite sure they were professionals, quite sure they knew how to fly a plane. Now, I don't know the nationality of the other people that was flying the plane, but as you know, in the past, when people want to destroy something, or the last time somebody did a major disaster, they flew a plane, and we know the nationality. Now, I'm not sure if the nationality here matters, because who just flies a plane into a food processing facility? It's not like it's 80 stories in the sky. Usually a food facility, a food processing plant, it's only 1 story. It might be a football field size long, but it's not going to be high. It's not going to be like the World Trade. It's going to be short and long. So 2 occupants flew their plane into the food processing building, which is General Mills. You know, they're notorious for making cereal and all sorts of grain. Yeah, General Mills plant in Atlanta. Now, there was a massive fire Monday night that destroyed parts of the Azure. This is a different food processing plant. Now this plant is called the Azure Standard Headquarters in Oregon, a company that self-describes as the USA's largest independent food distributor. Now the company said basically any liquid product such as honey, oil, and vinegar will be out of stock due to the fire, as reported by the Vision Times in that area. Now the company also said they lost its fruit packaging and a syrup product facility in the blaze, but said the effects will be minimum as fruit harvesting season hasn't started yet. So last Thursday, another event, firefighters contended with a massive blaze at Taylor Farms packaged salad plant in Salinas, California. Now this is a key agricultural region, 177 kilometers south of San Francisco. The fire broke out late Wednesday night as reported by the KTLA news station in that area. That very same day, an airplane crashed into the Idaho Gem State Processing Facility, a plant that says to process 18,000 acres worth of potatoes each year. The pilot of the plane did not survive. However, no employees were injured, reported by the Vision Times. Now, this is a second incident where a plane hit a food processing facility. Lucky this time, there was no employees in the building. Can you imagine that? Maybe they got a call. Don't come into work today, guys. You know, you guys did great last week. Everybody take the day off. Everybody take it off. We'll see you tomorrow. And they wake up the next day and this happens. 18,000 acres worth of potatoes destroyed. An airplane crashed into the Idaho Gem State Processing Facility. Wake up, people. They can't take food the natural way. They're gonna take food the disastrous way. So, on April 13th, firefighters from several departments in Maine helped battle a massive fire that destroyed East Conway Beef and Pork Butcher Shop and Meat Market in the center Conway of New Hampshire. Now, investigators did not indicate what caused the fire. Next, in March, reporting a major fire that forced the closure of the Nestle plant in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Excuse me, not Nestle, but Nestle. If you know anything about chocolate or any candy bars, well, they make everything. You know, they make a lot of things. The plant makes frozen foods. At this particular plant, Nestle plant in Jonesboro makes frozen foods at this specific facility. All you college students, particular Hot Pockets is what they make. The frozen food plant announced its plans for a $100 million expansion last year. And this happened. Okay, we're going to put an insurance on that $100 million expansion. This takes place whereas a fire forced the closure of the Nestle plant. So, you figure it out. 1 + 1 is 2. And they talking about a $100 million expansion. So, the Penobscot McCrum potato processing facility in Belfast, Maine was also destroyed by fires in March. So not only did they have one incident where there was a fire, they had another incident within the same month. Another potato processing facility in Belfast, Maine was also destroyed by fire. Officials believe a deep fryer, yes, that's right, a deep fryer was behind the fire. So, you know, with so much deliberate news out there, they had to make it seem like there was some sort of malfunction in the warehouse. They must have a commercial deep fryer that pre-fries the French fries before they stuff them in the freezer to get frozen and shipped across America. Why are they harming the potatoes? We don't know. But potatoes, rice, corn, things in that nature is one of the main ingredients. It's one of the main food items here in America. Now in Canada, all the way north up into Canada, fire crews and paramedics responded after an explosion at the Centre de Valorisation de... I didn't know I was going to be able to say French. I would have practiced these words. But anyway, a French food processing center, well, an industrial food preparation and processing facility in Sherbrooke. 5 people were injured in this March explosion that turned into a major fire. Well, I hope them people is at home recovering. I hope it wasn't that severe. And in late March, a fire at the Maricopa Food Pantry, a food bank in Arizona, saw about 50,000 pounds worth of food burn up. Yet another blaze at the Texas-based Rio Fresh severely damaged the onion processing facility. Let me read that again in case you didn't catch my drift. A food bank in Arizona saw 50,000 pounds worth of food burn up. Now, I'm not sure what type of food they have at this Maricopa Food Pantry, but about 50,000 pounds was worth. About 50,000 pounds was burnt. We got people starving every day across the United States. Wake up, people. So in February, we're just going backwards, just giving you the latest, all the way back to January. But in February, a portion of the Wisconsin River meats was destroyed by fire. According to Channel 3000 News, the Boston-based company said the old portion of its plant was a total loss from the fire. Okay, another fire in February. The list goes on. Food processing plants are being taken down by fire and people deliberately sabotaging. People deliberately flying planes into buildings. But we don't have no FBI looking into this. We don't have no ATF looking into this. I don't care if they do just do alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. We need all hands on deck. Food shortage is serious, especially in the United States. We're so comfortable out here. We have everything we want. Everything what's in arm's reach, hand's reach. So, let me continue. Now, there was another issue at the Shears food plant, as reported by the Oregonian supply. Let me start over. The Shear's food plant, as reported by the Oregonian. Now, the Shear food plant supplies much of the western U.S. with potatoes and corn chips. Don't y'all see? Potatoes, corn. Anything that we mass produce is being attacked. So a third fire in February caused the Lewis Dreyfus Company's Claypool, Indiana. It was a soybean processing and biodiesel plant. The largest fully integrated soybean processing plant in the U.S. They have to suspend production. But thankfully, due to the fire, there were no injuries reported. Go back to Canada. A blaze at the poultry processing plant in the Hamilton region of Ontario in January caused extensive damage, but caused no injuries, of course. The multiple alarm fire, as reported by the Global News, will cost millions in repairs. Sound like an insurance grab to me. All these food processing plants sound like they trying to cash in they big chips because they smell what's coming down the line. Now, I am not talking about the production line. They destroying those. So, firefighters responded to a fire in January at the Cargill Nutrina plant in LeCompte, Louisiana. The fire took more than 12 hours to put out, as reported. A fire in December caused more than 100,000 damages to a San Antonio food processing plant. And also, there was a fire, but there was no injuries. I see a pattern, people. I see a pattern. All right. In late November, of course, of last year, 2021, a fire engulfed in the Maid-Rite Steak Company. It's a food processing plant in Lackawanna County of Pennsylvania. The cause of the fire was ruled an accident. A fire within that same year, in mid-September, at the JBS USA beef processing plant in Grand Island, Nebraska, halted operations in the facility that typically processes about 6,000 head of cattle daily. Although the fire damaged a portion of the facility, the company at the time released a statement that said the fire did not impact the primary production area, as reported by Reuters. Another raging fire in August of 2021 severely damaged the Patak meat production company in Austell, Georgia, as reported by the Channel 2 Action News in Atlanta. According to the company's customer service department, Patak Meat Productions is operating at a much reduced capacity, but hopes to complete repairs in the coming months and will then regain full operational capacity. Like I said, people, the list goes on. In July of 2021, firefighters battled a large fire at the River Valley Ingredients plant in Huntsville, Alabama. The cause of the fire was unknown. And of course, another July fire at the Kellogg factory in Memphis, Tennessee was determined to be an accident and no injuries reported. Dozens dozens of crews were called in to help fight the fire due to the brutal heat. The cause of the fire in April 2021 at the Smithfield food plant in Monmouth, Illinois was unknown. Although a fire in January 2021 destroyed meat manufacturer and packager Deli Star's production facility in Fayetteville, Illinois, as of February 2022, it has opened a new plant in St. Louis. In January, police did not consider any fire suspicions. So I guess the case closes on that. Any additional disruption to the food industry and the food processing industry will definitely create a ripple effect. I mean, anything that affects product availability will put upward pressure on food inflation. This is why the US as well as Canada are seeing skyrocketing prices. So that is my conclusion on the news regarding food shortages across America. And as I name each individual as well as state, you can pinpoint that in every direction, whether it's up north, down south, west coast, east coast, we're all being affected. Nationwide shortages on food, nationwide shortages on milk, nationwide shortages on gas creates inflation. And what we're going to do, how are we going to combat food loss? A lack of production at these facilities. Just remember, there's one important word out of all this, and that's processing. Now, if you grow natural and eat natural, there's no processing whatsoever. You don't need any packaging. You don't need any preservatives or additives. Let's keep it natural. If you have a backyard, or if you can create some sort of box where you can put some soil in to plant some tomatoes, plant some cucumbers, plant some basil, do what you have to do. Because America, it's 1 billion of us out here. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of facilities across the United States, nationwide. And they're all being attacked. I don't know why there's no central intelligence agency looking into this. They're not doing anything else. Well, I'll take that back. You know, they're doing a lot for our American citizens. You know, the crime is low. We don't have any terrorist attacks, as they say. I guess we're doing good right now. But at the end of the year or in the next 2 years, we have a lot to be worried about when it comes to food and how we obtain food, how we receive food. And like I said in other videos, once the supply chain slows down, there's something to worry about. So protect your health, because health equals wealth. Each one teach one. Food shortages is on the rise. Now, it doesn't take much to grow your own food. It doesn't take much to plant your own seed. Whether it's a potato, whether it's corn, whether it's fruit like strawberries, grapes, we can do it. In a minute, it's going to be a barter system again. Okay, You got cheese? I need milk. Okay. You got milk? I need eggs. So, get your roosters, get your hens, get your chickens, get your rabbits, and create your own sustainable way to live. So once again, I hope you can learn something from this. I want everybody to hit that like button. I want everybody to hit that subscribe button. You're not losing out by tuning in to Clicked Up TV, where we bring you the latest news on science and technology. Peace. I'm out.